All right, y'all, we're back for another one. Thanks for joining me today. All right, so we're going to be covering Ezekiel chapter 36 today. All right, we're going to break down this chapter, all right, for the edification of the flock. Once again, welcome everybody. I pray that you guys are all doing well today. Let's all be edified today. All praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahawah, in the name of our beloved King, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. We give thanks always for the family and for the spirit, all right, for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we are endowed with, for the ability to gather, to walk in righteousness and to be made holy, to be made separate from the other nations and from the wicked of our own nation. And so we're thankful, for every day, for every hour, for every bit of the spirit that we're allowed to drink of and to be increased by. All right. Every day is another day we get to draw near to our power. All right. Abide in this secret place so you can dwell in the shadow. All right. That's the only cover that we have from the storms and the tempests of this world. So, do that or, just accept your fate, when hard times come and don't bother trying to turn to him in times of trouble. Okay, so, and with this said, I want to go ahead and get into this thing now. All right, so you see the subject matter, right? It says, the mountains of Israel to be blessed. Now, you should understand by now that mountains, this isn't a reference to the physical mountains, that we see outdoors. All right, these mountains are people. All right, it's a group of people. Okay. Um, and so the mountains refer to the government of Israel. It refers to the 144,000. All right. The 144,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. So you can look at each mountain as one of the tribes, right? A segment of the 12,000, 12,000 from Judah, 12,000 from Benjamin. Okay. And Judah, Benjamin, each one of those representing a mountain. Okay. Or you can look at it as each one of us individually, you know, being being a mountain. All right. But the way really to look at it is the way that I said it the first time. All right. And so again, so the point is that this is not talking about physical mountains because not everybody, has been around for these lessons. There are people who are new and they don't understand. So we want to make sure that everyone is up to par. And you will see through the reading that what I'm saying is not just my interpretation of the scriptures. It literally is the understanding. All right, verse 1. Well, before I get into it, just a little bit, talk a little bit more about it. Is that, Ezekiel 36, it's a prophetic chapter, right? Centering around the restoration of Israel, not just physically, but spiritually as well. All right. And so it's also about the vindication of Yahweh's holy name in the sight of the nations, as he said, right, that he would do. And so this is a foundational chapter for understanding why we went into captivity, what the restoration process looks like, how Yahawah views his name, his people, and the land. It's about the spiritual cleansing and the rebirth of Israel, not the throwing away, not the forsaking of. All right. And it's about the role of the new heart and spirit and the coming increase and fruitfulness of Zion. All right. So we're going to try to break down this chapter and be edified. All right. So we're going to start from here at verse 1. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel. All right. Now, that's the first indication that this is not talking about physical mountains, that it's talking about people. Because why would you prophesy to the mountains? Can you literally, visualize someone going out, and traveling to a mountain and beginning to prophesy to the mountain? Do you know how ridiculous that would look and sound to sane people? It's because it is ridiculous. All right. These mountains are people. You prophesy unto people. You don't even prophesy to animals. You don't prophesy to inanimate objects. You don't prophesy to trees and you know what I'm saying, and to concrete and to the sky or anything to the waters. You don't go to the ocean and to the lakes and prophesy to the water. No, you prophesy to people. All right. Prophesy unto the mountains of Israel and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahawah. Thus saith Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because the enemy hath said against you. See, mountains don't have enemies. All right. They're not beefing with the hills, right? They're not beefing with the dirt or the trees. All right. These are people who have enemies. These are his people. All right. The elect, as we stated, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Now, this is twofold, physical, carnal and spiritual. On the carnal side is that our enemies, they took our lands into their possession. And they laugh at us because they were able to take our lands from us. The other side is us as the land of the Most High, his people, right? Because a woman is like land, and we are made like, we consider like a woman, right? And we are his land, and he will, inhabit his people and dwell in his land, right? When you talk about dwelling in his land, he's talking about in his people, not a physical place. All right. And so they took us into captivity and made us a possession. All right. And we are what the scriptures call the ancients. Yahawah refers to us as the ancients. All right. And us, the elect would be the high places. When you consider land, you have the low places and the high places. All right. Exalted places. All right. Places of higher stature. Right. That would be the elect, because even among Israel, there are those who are lifted up and who are special, even among Israel. And so these people, they prided themselves and took joy in being able to take us into captivity. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord God, Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, because they have made you desolate. You see, these the ancient high places, it's the people, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. You see, that possession, the high places, are ours in possession. It's talking about the people. All right. Because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. That's what we are. Look, if there's any people who fit this, it's us. We are taken up in the lips of talkers. Everybody's always talking about us. We're on everybody's minds. We live rent free in the minds of all of these people. They claim that we're nothing, we're not important, we're just a bunch of slaves, and we're poor, and we're of no importance or consequence, but yet they're always discussing us. We're always the topic of conversation. We're always on their minds for some reason. All right. And we are in an infamy of the people. All right, let's go into it. Go to the interlinear. All right, it says, you are an infamy of the people. All right, whispering, defamation, evil report, unfavorable saying, slander. All right, there's no one more slandered than us. All right, from being called niggers and monkeys and apes and animals and savages to ghetto and thugs and just every negative thing that they say about us, all of the defaming, right? All of the lies on us that they tell, they try to make us the face of criminality, all right, and all things degenerate. But we know it's them. But they try to put it on us, all right. So again, this points to who the people truly are, all right. And so we have been made an infamy of the people, okay. It says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahawah. Thus saith Yahawah to the mountains. This is a word to you, Israel, to the elect. Listen up. All right. It says to the mountains and to the hills. All right. So the mountains, we know that's the elect, right? And to the hills, that's the remnant. All right. And to the rivers and to the valleys, right? Because valleys are low places. All right. And so, the valleys that you can call that the two-thirds. All right. Rivers, what would you like in the rivers unto? Maybe teachers, right? Teachers, conduits of moving waters, right? Or the bodies of the moving waters themselves. All right. Spiritually, that one has to be slept on a little bit more and prayed on to understand, who is represented by the rivers. But my guess is probably a good one, right? To the desolate waste and to the cities that are forsaken, which become a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. That's what happened to us and to our land. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. He is jealous over his people, and he is angry, right, with the other nations because of what they've done to his people. All right. I've spoken against the residue of the heathen. All right. Let's get that just so you can see the residue of the heathen. We know that the heathen are the other nations. So it's specifying the residue of the heathen. Let's get it, because we can, think that we know what it means. But let's see. It says to the rest, to the remainder, to the remnant of the heathen. All right. To what is left, to the descendants, to what is left. What is left after what? Yeah, what is left after something, right? You got to figure out what is that something. All right. To the remainder, to the descendants. All right. So the ancient heathens and their descendants of today. All right. It says that had escaped, be left posterity, right? Descendants. All right. All right. So we get it. All right. To what's left. All right. To the descendants. All right. Our ancient enemies and their descendants this day. And against all Idumea, not some of Idumea, but all of Idumea. All right. Let's go. This is Idumea. Edom. Right? Edom. The land of Edom. All right. And so remember, the same way that Jerusalem it points to the people before it points to the place, it does both. Sometimes it can mean the place, sometimes it can mean the people. In the same way, Idumea is a reference to the people and to the place. All right. So in this instance, it's referring to the people. All right. Who are the residue of the heathen. All right. Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Now, see, they think that being able to take us into captivity and to take our lands is a sign of their favor with the Most High. That is a sign of their blessings, right? Manifest destiny and all of that jazz, right? And so they fail to realize the latter end of things, what's pronounced against them for what they have done. And this is the failure of the church, purposely not teaching these people the scriptures in this way, not allowing them to understand that we are the people, because then they would read these scriptures and say, oh my goodness, what have we done? See, you can't have Christianity with the truth being taught also. Both can't exist at the same time. Okay. So which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith Yahawah, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. All right. He has spoken in his jealousy and in his fury, because we, Israel, we have borne the shame of the enemy. Born. What does that mean? we have borne the shame. Nasa, Nasa, coincidentally, right? We're born to shame. All right. It says to lift, to bear up, to carry, to take, to bear. We have bared. We had to bear their shame. We had to carry. We supported. We sustained. We endured. All right. What else? To be swept away. Uh, to lift up, exalt, support, to aid, to assist, to assist. We've done that also, right? To desire, we did that also. We longed to be like them and to walk after them and to, you know, and we've desired to be like them and to run after them. To bear continuously, this is what we want, right? To bear continuously, because we have continuously bared the shame of the heathen. All right, that's a good way to interpret it. All right. Uh, so that's why he has spoken in his jealousy and in his fury. All right. He hate that for us. All right. And in the same way we had to be punished because of it, our enemies are going to be punished because of it. They think that we get punished for it and they're going to escape. Silliness. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. You see that? They shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth as branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel. You see, these mountains, they are of Israel, but they are a group of Israelites who are um, set apart for a special purpose to yield fruit to Israel, to be shepherds, to be teachers, to be for a defense. It says, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. All right. Our rise is to come. All right. Kwam Yasharala. Or we are at hand to come. And the elect right now are yielding our fruit to his people. We are shooting forth our branches. This word is being fulfilled. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. He has turned to us already. All right. And he is getting us to turn back to him. Ye shall be tilled and sown. Remember the land analogy, right? We are his land. He's tilling us and he is sowing seeds in us. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it. And the cities shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded. And I will multiply, upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates. All right. I will settle you after your old estates and will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And ye shall know that I am Yahawah. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, because they say unto you, thy land devourest up men, and has bereaved thy nations. All right, and again, this is people. All right, this is us, the violence that we did to one another. All right, our Israel on Israel violence and destruction. All right, this is what this is a reference to. He says, therefore thou shalt devour men no more, neither bereave thy nations anymore. All right, so we aren't going to bereave our own people anymore. What does it mean to bereave, little brother? Let's get it. Yahawah Ram, bereave. Go to the interlinear and get that, man. Stop acting like I know what that means. I hear you. Let's get it. to bereaved, to make childless, to miscarry, to cause barrenness, show barrenness, or abortion. Okay. We got it? All right, good. It says, therefore, thou shalt devour men no more, neither bereave thy nations anymore, saith Yahawah. Neither will I cause men to hear in thee the shame of the heathen anymore. He's going to wash us clean. All of the bad habits that we got from our enemies, going to wash us clean. All right, the gang banging, going to wash that clean. The feminism, going to get that out of there, wash it clean. Right? The I hate men, the ninjas ain't ish, going to wash that clean. Right? The bees ain't ish, but O's and tricks, you go wash that clean. Right? All of our filthiness is going to wash it clean. And see, we got all of this filthiness from our enemies. Our culture, this culture it was given to us by our enemies. You know what I mean? And so men shall hear in thee the shame of the heathen no more. All right. Everything about them, their shameful habits and the cultures and everything that, they programmed us with, that's the shame of the heathen. That's going to be washed away, that shall be heard no more. Neither shalt thou bear the reproach of the people anymore. Neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall anymore, saith Yahawah. All right, so the land itself is personified. All right, so Yahawah speaks comfort and future restoration to the land, right, which has been made desolate by the enemies of Israel. And again, the land is us, and we are the land. So the heathen mocked and devoured the land, us, the people. All right, our enemies boasted, saying the land was theirs. All right. So, but Yahawah promises to rebuild and to bless the land again for his people and for his holy name's sake. Right. He says the land will no longer bear reproach, fame. I'm sorry, not fame, famine or mourning. All right. So, verse 16, it says, moreover, the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. See, now he's highlighting what we've done to ourselves. He spoke before about what our enemies have done, right? And their hand in our defilement, but now he's talking about our own hand in our defilement. How it wasn't just our enemies who did this. We did this to us, but we did this to us first. You see, this came first. We did it to us first, and then he caused our enemies to do it unto us. You see? He says, wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land and for their idols wherewith they had polluted. Listen, wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land. All right. So he did this to his people. So heathens, Gentiles, non-Israelites, what makes you think you're going to get away? If he did it to his own people, who he calls beloved, his children, you think he's going to let you get away with it? But I never owned slaves and I never did XYZ. It wasn't me. It's not fair to include me. We were all punished together as a nation. You're all going to be punished together as a nation. All right. The same things that got us in trouble that we got punished for, you're going to get punished for as well. You're not going to get away. He doesn't punish his children for doing a thing and then allow the other nations to do the thing without punishment. All right. He says, and I scattered them among the heathen. This is how we got everywhere that we are right now. This is his prophecy, right? His prophecy was the transatlantic slave trade. It was the sub-Saharan slave trade, right? It was the Christian crusades. It was the Catholic Church and all the unrighteous decrees, the dumb diversities, the papal bulls, and all of that. All right. It was the Muslim conquests and all of that. All right. All of that. He says, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. You see, there are levels to judgment, right? Where you went into captivity, which people he sent you into captivity under, it all mattered. It was based off of what you deserved, the level of captivity, the level of punishment that the Father wanted you to have. That's what dictated which people group he caused to enslave you, right? And of those people groups, what type of people? Right? What type of people? Because even in slavery, not every slave master was created equal. They didn't all have the same mind and the same feelings. They didn't all rule with the same level of rigorousness and hatred and you know veracity. The Father puts you where He wants to put you for His purpose. All right. Like I say, I always say there's a difference. There was a difference between the house slave and the field slave. The field slaves had a harder time of it. They were all in captivity, but the field slaves had a harder captivity. But they're all in captivity. You see what I'm getting at here? So it matters, to the heathen. I'm telling you, it matters. Don't just say, well, if I'm going to have to be punished anyway, I might as well just do whatever I want to. I might as well be wicked and evil. No. Just because you're going to go into captivity, just because you're going to get in trouble, just because you're going to be punished and chastised, doesn't mean you should be dumb enough to throw your hands up and say, well, forget it. I'm just going to be as wicked as I want to be. No, the level of your punishment is still to be determined. You still have an ability to to um, to help determine how harsh your captivity and your punishment is going to be, right? So, verse 20. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of Yahawah and are gone forth out of his land. You see, because of our captivity, because he had to punish us, it made them look at him like, what's wrong with him? Or why did he throw his people away? Or, oh, maybe he doesn't exist after all. Because look at them. Look what we're all able to do to them. Look at them. Look how they're acting, right? So, we caused him to be profane among the heathen everywhere we went. All right. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore, now, well, before I move ahead, because you see the subject line change. So before I move ahead, let's just talk about what we read. So Yahawah, he explains why Israel went into captivity, right? For defiling the land with sin and with bloodshed, right? But even in judgment, he remains faithful to the covenant. All right. And so we see, about Israel's behavior and how it polluted our own inheritance. Right? Yeah. So Yahawah scattered us among the nations because of it. But even in exile, his name is profaned when the nations see his people in disgrace. And he's going to fix that though. Right? That's what he says. That's his promise. So that's what we're waiting for. He's going to get us a name and a praise and a fame in the earth. All right, verse 22 says, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahawah, saith the Lord God, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. Listen what he says. When I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. Not when he is sanctified in the Christian church and whosoever believe in Jebus. All right. For I will take you from among the heathen. But if he loves the heathen and he so loves the whole world, then why does he keep calling them heathen, for one? And then two, why is he saying he's going to sanctify his people in the eyes of the heathen and that he's going to bring his people out from among the heathen? All right. He says, I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. He says he's going to do this. He's not going to allow someone else to take the credit. All right. He's going to do this. All right. So Yahawah is about to act. Right. But not because Israel deserves it, though. He does it for the sake of his name, which the nations have profaned through our downfall. So Yahawah is jealous for his holy name. He cares about his name and his reputation. It matters to him, right? Because a great name and a great reputation is better to be had than gold. You should care about your reputation. You should care about your name. You should have integrity. All right. And I do. That's why I get upset when anyone tries to act like my integrity doesn't speak for itself. Like, I work hard at being a stand-up individual and representing my power before other people. So when you try to disregard the reputation that I've earned in lieu of the reputation you want to give me, no, that pisses me off. In the same way, our Father, he is upset about not being given credit for the reputation he has earned, but instead having put on him the reputation which others give him. All right, the bad reputation that we gave him as poor representatives of his, and the reputation that other people, the heathen, have attributed unto him and unto his name because of us. All right, he says he will sanctify his name through the restoration of Israel before the nations, not through the gathering of the Christian church. See, they think Israel has been thrown away because of our uncleanness, because of us not walking right, because of many Israelites not believing in Yahawah, which is just not true. All right. And so, with this begins the regathering and the redemption phase. All right. Which was prophesied. Right. It was promised. All right. Verse 25 reads, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you. Okay. Again, contrary to Christian belief, we are not being thrown away. We are not being replaced. You can't replace us. All right. Because many Israelites rejected the Messiah doesn't mean he's throwing all Israel away. He says, I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. Right? This is the washing of the word. Right? His word, this is the clean water that he is sprinkling upon us. Which means what? There was dirty water being sprinkled upon us. What was that dirty water? Christianity. Yep, Christianity was dirty water. People were clinging to Christianity all of these years. Dirty water. All right? Running into Islam in search of the Most High. Dirty water. Right? Running into Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever it is. Right? Even atheism. Atheism is also a religion. Dirty water. All right? This is his promise to bring us out of all of these things in the world that defiled us and made us filthy, and that he would sprinkle clean water upon us, and we shall be clean. From all your filthiness, he says, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. All right. Yes, I know you're in Islam. I know that you're a Buddhist. I know that you're an atheist. I know that you're into Scientology. I know that you're into this, into that. I know you're into spiritualism and ancestor worship and all of that. I will cleanse you, he says. And so we're living through that right now. In this awakening, you have people who have come from all of these different things, and we're experiencing the sprinkling of the clean water upon us. All right. He says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit. You see, he's going to make us better. He's going to fix us up. A new heart, a new mind, also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give you an heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you. He doesn't say he's going to do this to everybody. He doesn't say this is, what he's going to do for whosoever believes. Whoever just calls on the name of Jesus and accepts him as their personal Lord and Savior. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. You shall, meaning you're going to do it. 100% guaranteed. No doubt about it. All right. So this section, right, is spiritual gold, right? The new heart, the new spirit, right? And the Holy Spirit being given to Israel so that, we can walk in his laws again. All right. Cleansing from idolatry and uncleanness, receiving the heart of flesh instead of stone. Yahawah putting his spirit within us, making us like him. That's the adoption. You see, this is what these other nations and these Christians are trying to steal from us through their replacement theology. All right, verse 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. We are going to get our land back. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. Why does he say that? Because he's going to be laying famine upon other people. Ooh. Mm. The unrighteous, the heathen, they're going to experience famine. He's going to be famine upon them, but not us. See, this is his word to us of comfort, that he's not going to lay a famine upon us. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. All right, we're going to be out here gardening, planting crops, and it's going to be producing an abundance way beyond what this world is currently used to production being from crops. That he said that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen, because the heathen are going to be experiencing famine. But this is what he's going to do to his people, for his people. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and your abominations. All right, this is what's happening now. We are remembering our own evil ways and our doings that were not good. And we're beginning to loathe ourselves in our own sight. We're hating ourselves. All right, but I'll let you see it. We'll get it. What does loathe mean? And shall loathe yourselves, to be grieved, to feel a loathing, right? To detest, to hate, all right? To be grieved, all right? So we are detesting ourselves. We are disgusted with ourselves, with our actions, right? All right, before our iniquities, our abominations. All right, I still do it now. I can beat myself up sometime over things, because we all have, certain sins or things that so easily beset us, right? And then You catch yourself doing it, or you do it because the flesh takes over, and then you do it, and then it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just said that. Wow. Or I can't believe I just thought that. Wow. You start loathing yourself for your thoughts. All right. And it's supposed to make us pray because we need help, man. We need help. This flesh is, man, it's wicked. It's vile, man. It causes us to think things, to feel things, to say things, or to do things that are contrary to the spirit, things that we wouldn't ordinarily do. But we are in these chains of darkness, in these bodies, man, subject to sin, to weakness. And we need help. And this is supposed to make us remember that we need help. It's supposed to make you pray for it. It's supposed to make you thankful for his mercy because we don't deserve it. Thankful for his grace because you don't deserve it. Thankful for his blessings. Right, exactly, because we don't deserve it. He says, not for your sakes do I this, saith the Lord Yahawah, be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahawah, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste shall be builded, and the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by. And they shall say, this land was desolate. This land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited, is being cared for, defended, cultivated. Then the heathen that are left, the residue, the remnant that are left round about you shall know that I, Yahawah, build the ruined places. That what do you mean left? Because many are going to die. They shall know that I, Yahawah, build the ruined places and plant that was desolate and plant that was desolate. I, Yahawah, have spoken it and I will do it. All right. He's confirming his word that if he says it, he's going to do it. What does that mean? That means that every promise that he made in the Old Testament, it will be done. That they weren't undone in the New Testament. They weren't undone by Paul. They weren't undone by the other apostles. They weren't undone by Yahawah. He didn't come to undo the promises, right? The promises aren't void now because of the Israelites who rejected him. Every word that he has sent forth, everything he said he would do, every promise, every single one of them will be done. He has spoken it and will do it. Thus saith Yahawah, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel to do it for them. I will increase them with men like a flock. All right, that's many children. We're going to have a lot of offspring. All right, he says, I will be inquired of the house of Israel to do this. And every day we're praying for the fall of our enemies. We're praying for the restoration of our nation. All right, we're praying for his word to be accomplished, for all his promises to be fulfilled. And these other people, they will call us a hate group because of it, because we want his will to be done. We're a hate group. Because see, it shows you that it's not us who they have a problem with, it's with him. They have a problem with him and his word. They don't like his promises. They don't like what he says he's going to do. You see, that's the problem, not us, Israel. So just understand, they're not really fighting against you. They're fighting against him. But they gotta fight with him through you because you're his representative. We are his ambassadors. All right. And we're supposed to be praying for the fall of our enemies because he said he was gonna bring them down. So you're supposed to pray for it. He said he's gonna lift us up. So you're supposed to pray for it. As the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast, so shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men. And they shall know that I am Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So Yahawah promises physical restoration in addition to our spiritual, right? So our land, our fruit, our people, the rebuilding of waste cities, right? And the return of joy and honor to Zion, all right? Multiplication of the people in cattle, the land becoming like the Garden of Eden. Other nations will see the transformation and know that Yahawah has done it. They can say everything they want to right now about us being a forsaken people, right? But in that day, in that time, they're going to know the truth. They're going to know the error of their own beliefs, and they're going to loathe themselves. All right. So, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for rocking with me. Through the Spirit, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to our Father Yahawah, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makakwadash. I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you were edified. Each one, reach one. Till next time, Yahawah willing, of course. Shalom.